E buonasera. Hello everyone. Mike, buonasera. How are you?
Buonasera. Yeah, good, mate. How you doing? You good?
Pretty good. 2 days
Surviving.
left and surviving every day, fighting, struggling every day, but we are still here. So that's
it.
good.
Yeah. You
Right?
are a survivor.
Yes, we are. And I
Oof.
am, yeah. So we survived the weekend as usual, and we are middle week, 2 days, more or less. No cider and
Touch and go.
sausage, no Balkan beer bash, but still good stuff there. And
Yeah.
Mike, 2 days to go. Tomorrow, the Italy under 20 with a renewed team. Let's say big shake against Australia. It's really challenging for us, but after that, our dear Azzurri, the national team, is gonna play in Apia, Samoa. So what they're gonna do? Have you seen the team? Happy
Yeah.
with the team? Start, go
Yeah.
open a free stream of consciousness about this game.
Yeah, no. It's just so happy with like the first of all the consistency. Secondly, it looks like Quesada's taking what Innocenti's said very, very seriously, and he's looking to win. No, areas for a slip up. I think it shows a bit of growth from a coaching standpoint after what happened in Georgia. Yeah, I think that's super positive. Really looking forward to some of the young guns having run out. Good to. It's just good. I'm just gonna be really happy to see Vincent play again. So yeah, man, I just really really positive about it. Obviously Samoa are no team just to under evaluate and underestimate because they're different. They're a different team playing at home. Also, I'm hoping that our players have acclimatized to the different time zone and the area of sort of professionalism where we've always lacked when we play abroad, when we play away days in the southern hemisphere. Hopefully, we've made a concerted effort to try and sort of acclimatize. Yeah.
Acclimatize, you're right. I was checking the weather, the forecast.
How hot?
And, so it's like you feel 37 degrees. So it's gonna be pretty hot.
Oh, thank you.
Some rain the day before and a big
Oh,
storm the day after the game.
so humidity is what you're telling me. Humid. Oh, boys, that's
So
not
it's
nice.
gonna be a little bit different than Auckland, of course, because it's more cold in Auckland. But hey, like Robbie told me in the Italian chat, like, you know what does it mean to do the preseason in Treviso in the swamp? Like Treviso, the Florida of Italy, right?
Was it like really
The
humid? Yeah.
Italian Miami with so hot and sticky. So
Yeah. No,
no.
I'm with you.
So have you heard about, and then we can dig into the squad and everything, but okay, the climate first, the everything around, the people, that yes, Robbie, that was your joke. And no TMO. Have you heard about that? There's not gonna be TMO in both games.
in both games.
Yes, again, only in Japan is gonna be available. So Nukualofa and Apia both in both stadium, no TMO for this game, which means a lot and everything and nothing, depending how is your point of view. For me, okay, it's gonna be hard, but let's do it. Much more on the positive. On the negative, you're gonna see
Can it be
some.
classed as a test? Like, can it be something where points are on offer if there's no TMO? I don't. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I thought it was a request every time, but
Yeah.
looks like it's available. It's like this. It's been confirmed by Quesada, so it's gonna be this. Yes, no video.
I'm concerned because of two things, right? One, because they're not playing against small players, right? So the TMO, love it or hate it. So many people have different thoughts on it. Keeps people in check because they know what they can and what they can't get away with.
Right.
I'd hate to see one of our players get injured. Also, I'd hate our players to injure someone as well, right? Like it goes both ways, out of stupidity. But that's one area of concern. The second area of concern is we could potentially be getting ranking points off these teams. If there's no TMO, does that mean like if we don't earn ranking points, that'd be really disappointing. Assuming we win, knocking on wood, right? Because the draw's coming up soon, right? So like we want to try and climb the ranks, and these are teams that aren't low enough for us not to get points off.
Look, I think they're gonna be awarded points anyway for this game.
Interesting.
I didn't read anything against that, but of course I hear that both Samoa and Tonga, Samoa. So in those two games, there's not gonna be TMO. But for example, in the article that pop out on rugby.it, they were talking about the difficulties in logistic organizing, and we're gonna play on Friday just because it's the Auckland flights. They move in that day, something a little bit different. So it's an issue, it's a logistic issue, but I mean, even more give us the opportunity to be as one, as a team, not thinking about what could happen. Because at the end, I think we have to try to play our best, and there's gonna be already the stadium against us, like Batumi style. No, really, really strong in art. But we can do our job.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, right? Because um, there's so many like rumors of corruption and stuff. So part of me
Right.
finds it funny where like the World Rugby probably have given them enough money, and like they probably had a couple of like a couple of roasts on the shore as opposed to spending money on the TMO. They've allocated it elsewhere. But yeah, I'm with you. It's a good opportunity. It also shows it's going to be a new challenge because a lot of these players that have played for Italy now have played in an area of true professionalism, and maybe from a discipline standpoint, they there's some of the dark arts which they don't know, or they're less likely to try and
to embrace the
yeah. So they might
challenge.
they might learn a lot from these players as well. That's the point I'm trying to make, especially if they a lot of these players have played in like amateur, semi-pro, and then obviously pro. Like there's probably some more sort of dark arts where our players can learn from them as well. So yeah, listen, different challenge, new challenge. The heat is the biggest challenge, as well as obviously playing at 5 or 6 in the morning Italian time. But we move.
We move, right? You actually, it sucks for you because it's gonna be 5 a.m., right?
It is, yeah. Got my alarms ready.
My sweet Bulgaria is gonna be 7 p.m., so 7 a.m. So I'm gonna be pretty good this time.
Nice little
But
light in here, isn't it?
couple of hours more than you know what I mean. So
I'm
good,
with you.
good. But hey, still a rag. Still some beer in the morning. It's Friday,
Yeah.
beer in the morning.
Technically, it's
What
after 12.
today?
So
It's gonna be available even on the Samoa TV on the website. So
cool.
many chances to watch it. We're gonna find a way to watch it. So
Do we know who the ref is quickly, just before we continue on that?
I think it's from New Zealand. The ref. You know, these stuff usually are not my job.
Yeah.
I don't.
No worries. The only reason I ask is obviously there's a lot more pressure on them as a
Oh,
referee
that's
with no support.
Absolutely. And something interesting, all the interesting stuff that came this week, it's about how long it's been this season. Quesada was not complaining, but it's something already try to explain even for the Argentina media about is a never-ending season. People still like recovering from last June. They never stop. So now they're thinking to manage differently time-wise the players in the next season with Benetton and Zebre. Of course, more on Benetton, I would say, because 60% of the team is Benetton. 4% of the team is Zeb at the moment, but depending which player you're gonna pick and when he's gonna play, so that is gonna be a challenge for Brunello and Bortolami. But it's something that they're trying to speak more openly, at least for us as a fan, like manage time to rest and to play to recover for the the national team players, let's say, or the
Yeah,
one
I'm not sure how I feel about that, mate. To be honest, I think that works well if we have an abundance of 50 cap players. Like if we have you know a, an embarrassment of riches, yeah, fine, we can start managing from a club and country level a lot better. But a lot of these players are young and they need the time in the URC to be good enough, right? So if we look at if we look at some of the players that stand out from this season, like Spaniolo, for example, like he played so much this season, and I'm yes, he didn't get injured and it's very lucky, but I find it really hard to understand how that could potentially have negatively impacted him. You know what I mean?
right. No, but I think it's more like on the recovery, like from game to reach a good status when you have to play for Italy without completely being. Uh,
Oh, I understand. So just before the
I think
international
it's gonna
windows,
be to have
ah,
like a good alignment between
like the
club
Irish,
and the
basically.
national team. Kinda.
Got
Maybe
you.
some
Got you.
games they're gonna be let the player that stand the most in this about this topic. It's probably Brex, how it been managed. Brex for the national team for the Benetton. No, like
Yeah.
the end of this. Let's say the sextonization of
Yeah.
some players. Okay,
I'm with
even
you, bro.
Lamaro that play a little bit, few games. Rudsa sometimes we saw more Snyman at the beginning of the season, and then with him. So in that way, but we go full loaded guns to play smoking guns. Seems like, yeah, pretty hard.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think, if we're trying to show world rugby what we're about, there's no better place than doing it away. It's going to be in a time zone where the Kiwis can watch, and there's going to be a lot of eyes on this game. It's going to be it's the first game, isn't it? From what I understand, right?
Yep.
So it's the first game of the day. There's going to be loads of eyes. If we want to genuinely show and start, building credibility from a world rugby standpoint, as opposed to just what we've been doing slowly over the past season or two in Europe, better place to do it, I don't think there is. We need to really sort of amp up what we're trying to do, and yeah, good game to go into and try and do it.
And all the eyes are gonna be, at least the Italian guys, on the two new debutants players. So I'm thinking about Gallagher and at fullback, waiting for Capozzo. Capozzo arrived in New Zealand after the top 14 final, and the other one is gonna be Zara Antonello, who surprisingly for me start from the bench, but is there. Him and not Nicotera to start the combo of the hookers for this game. So Quesada, I think maybe it's been impressed And the other, if I have to think, the other one is the fact that Sebnegri is not in the team, but is Itzegor starting for his third cup. So those three for me are really, really interesting calls in Quesada's 23 players list.
Yeah, it's also nice to see Louis Liner straight in as well. And obviously, it's one of those where he came in, such last minute at the Six Nations. You always wonder, okay, so is in the summer, is he gonna sort of get a couple of
Get
other
more time, it's gonna be somebody else, right?
yeah. But it looks like he's cementing his position, which is really good. So more power to him and best of luck on the weekend. To him.
Yeah. Talking about the team, let's read our team. Fischetti, Lucchesi, and Ferrari. Cannone, Ruzza, Izegor, Lamaro, and Vincent. Ross, the boss Vincent, number 8. Varney, Garbisi in the middle, and then Ioane, Laina, Gallagher for the back three, and Brexoncello with Menoncello at 12, Brex at 13 for us. From the bench, Zarantonello, Spagnolo, Zilocchi, Iachizzi, Zuliani, Cannone, Lorenzo, Pagelo, and Marin, the Swiss knife. That can
Magic
be
man.
open. Yeah, 6 plus 2 for us, Mike. They go with a 5.3. Then we go deep into Samoa's team. I sent you some stuff so you can see what I have, because some stats are really interesting about caps. Thinking about our team and their team, we are in a different position, let's say, because usually
Yeah,
we are the team with less
cap.
cap, and this time we have accumulated 493 caps against 163 caps from Samoa. Ferrari and Fischetti, already just with them, we reach so many caps, like 90 caps already, 94 caps. But if we pick all the scrum of Samoa, it's crazy to think that they have only 30 caps in the first 8 men. We have 255 caps
Yeah.
in that group.
So
Crazy.
obviously stats. He obviously Octavio sent me this, but one thing that struck me as strange as well. It's not even like they are extremely a lot younger than us. Obviously, I think probably the front row we might age them ever so slightly, but it looks like they're also older than us and less experienced, aren't they?
Yes, because if you think about Seiuli, for the former Dragons prop, he is 30 almost. Seiuli, the Dragons. Let me see. He's 31 years old. He's in 1992, born in December, and he only played twice official caps. He's going for another cap Seiuli. So that means that, for example, he has 2 caps, and one was unofficial because was against Australia A. But they have him, and they don't have Alalatoa. They don't have other player like Lamositele switched, but Aloe Mill. They are missing a lot of players that probably we're not gonna see anymore. They were something just for the World Cup, like
Yeah,
okay, all in, let's go with the best, the former All Blacks and everything, but they're not retaining anybody like Sopoagale, Alifano, Luatua, Vui, Taufua. All these players are Seuten is not in the team. So all these guys are out. And it's crazy. The only one waiting probably is going to be in the next days. Umaga as a new collab for the team, Jacob Umaga, because I think tomorrow and it's been 3 years since last game I played for England actually, because he played against
yeah,
USA
U-
4th of
US.
July
Yeah.
2021.
Remember, I think I was there for that game as well. Where
He came in
yeah,
early in the game. He played 70 minutes, kind of.
yeah, no, I don't know if I was there for that game or if it was the Canada game. No, it was the Canada game where Ludlow needs that guy. Never mind. So Yeah, so I was going to say,
Because really,
Theo,
old, they have a debutant prop starting, which is Fepuleai, and they also have Faleiva, which is another prop with 0 cap. So, and
Theo,
sorry, you
right?
told me about the age, the average. So I can tell you the average age: 26 years old for our forwards, 30 for them, 25 our backs, 29 their backs.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was just saying, Theo's their captain now, right?
Yes, with 11 caps on, Theo McFarland is the cap. Is the only player
Game changer, there, isn't
playing in England. Actually, we have more players in England at the moment. There is a former Exeter Chiefs player, Bristol too, I think. Alapati Alapati. Oh my God, all these names together. I'm messing around. Let me see. Alapati Leiua. Alapati Leiua that now is playing in Japan and actually is one of those players that was in the pitch the 14th of June 2014 when we lost against Samoa in Apia 15-0. Alapati Leiua was playing 12, and from that team there is Tommy Allen for us, but not in the team. There was Bortolami in the bench. Jamba Venditti was playing
it?
11. Esposito, Tebaldi, Mauro Bergamasco still. Galdena is captain. Paris was injured. And we lost that game. That crazy. Think about the quality of that team for Samoa. It's so different. That quality team, thinking 10 years after, now where they are, where are we? Now,
Yeah.
what do you think? Where are we? I think in a best spot for this game. We have to fight, but hey, it's not something impossible to watch to win a game in Samoa. Huh?
No, I agree. I think as much as they have, like I said, I'm going to focus on Theo because I think he's genuinely world class. But
Yes,
Theo McFarland would make most teams in the world comfortably starting, right? That's the truth. However, we're now in a position where we have players that probably are in a conversation in some of the positions, like Ferrari at tight head. You're looking at Menoncello and Brex in the centres.
oh,
You're
look
looking
here.
at some of the the hookers. You look at some of those players, and you're like, these guys are in contention with some of the best players in Europe. So, like, we're now having a discussion where I don't think we've ever been in that position other than maybe 2011, 2012 season with like you know our scrum and like Marzi in the back and like we had some class players, but like not like we have now. Like the overall level of our team is so much higher. And yeah, listen, like we're going in as heavy favorites, heavy favorites, as we should be. We just always tend to, as a team, underperform when we have that label, and maybe it's a psychological thing, maybe it's not, but like nothing's going to be given to us for free,
Right.
especially like away from home, like you said, hostile environment, no TMO, so like there's going to be a lot of influence from the crowd as well and what they see, right? What they see
Oh,
is going to influence a lot. Nothing's going to get given to us, so we have to go in, be squeaky clean, right?
with
And
a peace of mind.
yeah, and go in squeaky clean and just perform to the best. Yeah, I'm
No,
confident.
I trust the performance of this team because he's able to manage differently the game. I like the fact that we have a team maybe able to play on the high balls, try to push behind Samoa, which is maybe is gonna still suffer because it's a new team. So we have more cohesion in this. If we have to compare the two teams, and probably
I'm excited to see the
literally,
scrum.
I think the tactic wise, we can be really strong, and the scrum is the other thing. I think the scrum, at least, hey, they found 2 international props now already. I mean,
I'm
probably
excited by this one.
something more.
That's the one I think I'm most excited about, mate, because it's again another acid test for our front row. And I think our front row is very good now. So we shall
Yeah,
see.
Riccioni out for technical choice, tactical technical choice, coach choice, which is interesting, and we're gonna go strong in this in that way. And man, the team is there. We are lighter as usual. Let's say this is as usual. We have our scrum is 40 kilos lighter than them. Let's say 5 kilos per player, more or less. Are there? We have less debutants. They have five. We have two. As we said, we have 12 players that represent Italy at the Rugby World Cup. Samoa got 9, and starting with 8, we have 3 bench that played the World Cup, which are Zuliani, Cannon, and Pagelo. They go only with the number 9 Matava, and then nobody with that international level too. And also think about cohesion. We said we know each other better and everything. We said Benetton represents 60% of the team. On the other side, Moana Pacifica represent only the 40% of the team, because then they are spread everywhere between Pro D2, top 14, 3 division of Japan, and even New Zealand University. I mean, so really different how much of like we know each other, we play together with caps, man. So of course we have still to play, yeah, but I trust the what we can try to do. Which plays can find some space behind. We can be strong with strike plays, because that seems like something able. We need discipline in this crazy game. There's gonna be, because it's gonna be a crazy game. We need a lot of discipline. Stick to the basics, and from there go forward.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I think as much as this is a test game. This is probably one of the test games I would have preferred to have as our first test game of this summer series. So yeah, I agree with everything you said. Like I said, nothing's going to get given to us. It's going to be they're going to have the 16th man with the crowd. So we just need to make sure that everything that's in our control we're doing. So yeah, man, I'm super excited by it. I think, like you said, it might be an opportunity for us to try out some different stuff, and I'm really excited to see what Casada has planned, because I think this is last Six Nations still had quite a lot of Kieran Crowley. I think this is where we're going to start seeing slightly more
More and more,
Quesada.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the difference in the kicking game, amplified respect the last Crowley, because if we go back to see the first Crowley, first year of Crowley is pretty slightly similar to the style of play and everything, more traditional. Was Crowley was heretic in the last season, but hey, we change, we start all this, the pathway of these players, even with Franco Smith. But who you think is gonna be like a player, like you're more excited to see Gallagher and that big old Booth kicking down, or Zarantonello throwing a perfect line out?
150%. You knew this before I asked this. We cannot win the games. No one can win games at the best level without a high percentage set piece. So yes, you knew that answer from the get. Yeah, 100%. I want to see darts. I want to see, miss throws, like intentional miss throws to the back, and just having Menoncello smash him on on the long throws. Like I want to see, I want to see a variety of throwing. So you've spoken about him up so much to me. So now, like, I'm expecting him to be like, I don't know, like a dart player, like
A Lucchesi style.
180.
He's a Lucchesi style. I'm happy that he's not starting. Why? Because I want to see his impact, because it's really like it's busy every time I saw him playing. And that is for me something like, okay, he's gonna be ready, he's gonna be around, he's gonna be Pagelo in the field maybe when he's gonna come in. So little steps to create a better Italy, because then of course Nicola is gonna. I'm happy that he trusts in this moment Zarantonello, so we have a fresh Nicotera for the next game
Yeah,
in case needed, or maybe he's gonna stay cool for 2 games and then we're gonna stick with Zarantonello from the bench and Nicotera for the last game, maybe starting. I mean, but we're getting closer to probably the best team we can have at the moment. Of course, Capozzo is another one missing. We have Pani, we have Jesse, if we want to add it into conversation as a one of the top scorer in the last 2 years, and we're waiting for Lamb and Odogu.
yeah,
Then we have all the players available in that moment. I think then it's
yeah,
only depending by performance.
yeah. I'm trying to think. I've got a feeling we're missing a front row as well.
Front row, we have Nemeth to wait back.
No. Yeah, I
And
mean, yes, we have them to come back, but that's not who I'm thinking about. Not just that. No, no.
we
We
can
got
put, if you want, Jesse, because not just sorry Jesse, BG, because was one of the best throwing this season. He got injured. Was Pani, and then I don't know what Phantom is saying. Repeat Phantom, is it Gallagher instead of Trulla? Sounds good. More international quality, different kind of kicking. Maybe Tonga is gonna be the game for Trulla, and I'm excited to see Trulla playing against Tonga if he's gonna play that game. And if he's gonna play maybe wing or whatever, but I'm happy with the. I was going to be happy anyway, because you have to. I'm excited to see one player coming back, and I'm excited to see another player that is a debutant. So both
Yeah.
are good. I'm not picky at all in the choices now. Okay, let's see how cool is to see Izekor starting at 6 this game.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, we have
Especially,
legs. We have 2 players with legs in the back row.
yeah, especially with Theo probably at some
Lose.
point. Yeah,
Every-
like it's going to be that they're very they're almost similar players, aren't they? Like the way that they play in the loose. Obviously, Theo does that ridiculous stuff at lineout, which
Former Samoa basketball under
basket
16.
makes sense. Makes it.
You
His
can see
one-handed
him
catches
later.
are just
Oh,
they're just disgusting, mate. He's just such a
one
talented player.
hand catches. Yeah,
Yeah, so
legs.
like they're quite similar players in terms of if we're looking at like for like, that's going to be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, I'm wondering how Vincent is gonna be around him. I don't know. I have this idea more than Vincent around. And do you know what's interesting? The fact that we go, okay, like, how can I say? Itzegor, okay, great. With Seb Negri, you have the crusher there.
The boy.
The boy is mashing, running through the wall. On the
Yeah.
other side, now you have a running in the wide. So I'm wondering how him and Vincent they're gonna match up during the game, because if in that way we're gonna have a lot of legs in the field in the last 15 meters. Think
Mm.
about those 2 connecting with Menoncello and Ioane. Those 4 players running in meters with a Menoncello, with Gallagher behind, with a Capozzo one day, with a line coming. You create like 5 good player to attack all together in with these like waves, and that is interesting
Yeah,
because we
no.
want that kind of players.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's almost like a good sort of comparison would be Van der Fleer and like Conan if you're looking at 2 sort of polar opposite back rowers, right?
Kinda, yeah. Or like Iron. Now I have in my mind the Monster Man that runs so good, but it's more of a lock, like a McCarthy too. Those kind of players, yes. Because for me, it's so long. Izaga that can be like a lock sometimes.
Mm.
how strong it is. He can be a lock, but he's a nice number 6. They put in, man, it's interesting. And then there are other games, of course, but this is the most interesting for us as an Italian fan. It's gonna tell us where are we, and it was just and Brex in the middle, Paolo and Brex still in the middle, because we need still Brex in the middle. We don't need him out of the field. Let's see when it's gonna be time for May. Yeah, that is another. Of course,
I forgot about May. That's Oh, I'm so excited. And Odias as well. Like, oh man, we've got so much.
Man, the team is there. I mean, you can get better with the team with those names that we saw, because if not, the rest of the players are there. Let's add Allan. Man, there's no more time to like, but if Canna was here like last year, do you remember still people calling for Carlo Canna in the national team? No, it's not time for Carlo Canna. It's time to move forward with this amount of players, with some 50s cap player, new leadership, old leadership with Lamaro, and go forward. So
the battering beanstalk at 12, Carlo Canna.
Carlo Canna, the crash ball of Franco Smith, unbelievable to believe.
Unbelievable.
But we were witness of that. We saw that. Man. I mean, hey, a man on a mission. When you're gonna be crash ball, okay, I'm gonna be the crash ball, and a lot of defense. I remember from him covering.
He played well, man. He played well. Like as much as he shouldn't have been in that position, he played well.
Okay. So let's do something happy. Yeah, the rugby team is in the world ranking higher than the football team, which sucks for us on the football side, happy as on the rugby team side. And of course, 10,000 tickets already gone for the first pre-sale of the Italy versus New Zealand this November in Turin, in the Juventus Stadium, which is great. So, Phantom, thank you for the forbidden subject. I understand which one was, if it was the ref or something else, but thank you for the clarification.
Clarify. Yeah. I think we have to talk about the under-20s, don't we?
Yes. So under-20, man. Last week was we were good on transition, moving the ball, defense attack, but then we lose so many opportunities, which sucks. Yeah. Why? Because we generate these long breaks from the wing, De Villiers, Seletri, Zanandrea, but then we were not able to close the situation. 4 versus 1 in 3 versus 1, not attacking, kicking, running straight instead of passing. Some misunderstanding in attack. Defense-wise was more... man, defense-wise, we suffered a lot, that team. Ireland was really sharp, as was, I think, Michael in our chat talk about, Ian McKinley, the former Benetton is the attacking coach of Ireland. They were sharp. They runs from everywhere. They need strong line at those hands, man. If I want to pick something from that team, I want to have a superpower to just give it to the Italians, are those hands, because they were able so easy to play on shape, to move the ball in the right moment, to pass the ball in the pod. Something we really struggle. We go straight with the players. Good first try, but Australia is good moving the ball like Ireland. They don't care. They move the ball fast. They're gonna let the wing run in space.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think for me, the most disappointing part was, like you said, it seemed like the backs were doing good work getting us in the right positions of the pitch. And then we decided to go into multi-phase, and I think there was probably 5 or 6 times where we just the handling errors, sub sort of 5-6 meters from the try line, and it was just so frustrating. We had such a dominant scrum as well. It was just... yeah, it's just frustrating. Hopefully, it's just teething issues with the new coaches coming in.
It's interesting.
But
They changed 10 players for the. Sorry, 9 players. They're gonna move. They moved in this game. We have Gritti back, which is one of our best prospect in under 20s, but then they put Milano in number 8, Lorenzo Casilio back. Actually,
he
the
was
bench
good.
is starting now. Casilio Brisighella,
They were
still
good.
electric. Yes, Zanandre out, which honestly I didn't think was that bad. Uh, who else? Scalabrin from the bench, Imberti starting, Eletri there, De Villers there with Bozzo playing 13, Belloni still there, and Casartelli, of course, is entering at number 6. Mirenzi at 4, so big changes, and Siciliano to Gasperini from the bench. The line out, man, that sucked. The line out, Gasperini. It's so many darts. Come on, we are in quarterfinals now. We won against Australia in the darts competition. Now we need Gasperini to start throwing darts. Him
Yeah, man,
and
it's bad. It's just bad. Like we can't win games like that. It just annoys the hell out of me. Yeah, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Like if
no,
you're going to
no
represent the
rain,
country,
no stuff.
no excuse. Spend 3 or 4 hours after training throwing the ball at the crossbar. Easy. That's why, like Ribaldi, for example, no excuse. No excuse. Like if he wants to be a hooker, there's clear objectives that a hooker needs to do. So yeah,
Have you
they're,
seen the
they're
first try? He came because they are applying the new laws, and it was not straight. When we scored the first try, the line out was
oh, they
not
didn't
straight,
compete.
but
Yeah, I know.
they didn't
Yeah,
compete, so the
yeah.
ball stays in the field, and we play that,
But what
which
constitutes
I
as
love.
competing? Like if I was a second row and I just jumped, right? Is that competing for the ball?
I don't know, but put somebody just put
You
on
have
the
to lift someone, right?
yeah, but
Is that competing, right?
put it in the back. Who cares? Put it in the back. Let him jump in the back.
Uh, yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think we'll see more and more with the ones that they don't want to compete. They're just going to have someone just like the scrum half just run in front, right? Just
Or actually, why not? Right, like a two man jump
yeah,
instead of 2-man jumps. Like you put like Antonio used to put somebody else at 9. Like poof. How are these for I don't know Fischetti to lift Varney?
yeah, or someone like Spagnolo lifting Ruzza, yeah, like that. If we wanted to, genuinely,
Just
why
do
not?
boom,
Easy.
jump and stop the situations, stop the threat because
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
TMO, right? So
But also, like with the new laws, right? I actually quite like them first and foremost. But if if someone's not competing, right, what's stopping someone doing an American football style across the pitch throw diagonally towards like the winger on the opposite? Nothing stopping them if
hey,
they
hey,
don't compete.
straight to the 10.
Mate,
Straight
even further. Like if you got the arm, I remember. I don't know if you remember this, right? But Joe Marchant, there was one. I think it was for England. It might have been for Quins, but he took a quick line out and he did an American football throw backwards from the line out. It went 3/4 of the length of the pitch, like as in horizontal. It went 3/4 of the length of the pitch, going backwards. Imagine if he just threw it forward, just halfway line at the pitch. You
You
just
put
throw it
6
forward. No,
players on the 15 meters line on the opposite side. Like,
yeah, just basically turn it into like an American football throw.
we have to
Um,
look the guidance for this guidelines for this. They need
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen sooner or later. If these become enforced, like someone who's got like a stupid mind like me will come up with something ridiculous, and then they'll have to
what
change it
if
back immediately.
but I like that I don't like the mark. The mark when you kick, you can call the mark from restart kick. I'm for I want to abolish the mark.
Yeah,
Like a rugby league style, Mike.
yeah,
No
yeah. I'm
prisoners.
with you.
Let's go there. Let's mash them. Let's put pressure on the player. That is something. And just we are wrapping up almost, but I would like to know what are your thoughts on the other games. Who's gonna win the other game? That is for me interesting to so we can bet on that on the summer international of the next week, which are so Samoa, Italy. You're going with Italy, right?
Yes.
New Zealand, England. Who's gonna win? The good old Borthwick or the good old Razor Robertson with
Yeah.
New
I had
Zealand?
this discussion with my mates in the rugby chat. I actually think England are favourites because
So
Razor's
England
rebuild.
first game, eh?
Yeah, I don't know if England will win the free game, the test. Right, I think New Zealand might win the
The
test.
series.
Just because they're on a rebuild. It's their first game. I suppose it depends how badly England win if they do win, right? But yeah, I said to my friends, I think England by 2 tries. So I reckon England by 14 or less.
Okay, well, look, makes sense. It's hard. Dunedin, don't know who's gonna be starting for New Zealand. I'm guessing Borthwick with a classic traditional team, that team, right? Nothing so weird, but we know that. No
Yeah,
Stewart,
yeah.
of course, in this team, but Australia, Wales. Who? Australia, Wales.
Australia.
You want Australia. Let's go with Australia. Yes, Australia, Wales. Let's go with Australia with our friends from Oz. South Africa, Ireland, Mike.
South Africa.
Mm,
South Africa.
Okay, South Africa with the
Close though.
Rugby World
Close.
Cup team. Let's say
Yeah, it's going to be closer than like I wouldn't be surprised if Ireland win, right? First and foremost, because they're good enough to win it. It's just it's in South Africa, isn't it?
is in Pretoria. Rusty Erasmus played that game in
Yeah, man.
98 at number
Yeah,
6.
yeah. I think I think a close win on that one. So if I'm going to go wins, I think we could potentially win by a few scores. England, let's say, win by a couple of scores. Then Australia win by
10 less.
yeah, like a score. And then I think we're talking points either way on this one. I think South Africa win by less than 5.
Makes sense. Argentina, France. With France is gonna lose, is gonna win. Argentina is gonna win, I think. In
No
Mendoza,
De
they're
Bruyne,
gonna
right?
win. First game of Contepomi, that's crazy. That's gonna be with him in charge. But man, Argentina can always do something weird. Coming back to Argentina and playing France, it's huge.
Mm. I
But
think
France is still France.
Yeah, I think France by less than 2 scores. So 14 or less.
Okay. Okay, and to Canada, Scotland. The Scotland team is really like a developing team. Just Calstein from the bench, and then this Sutherland, Jamie Dobie. A lot of changes. Like it's not the Scotland of the Six Nation, which is good for them.
How much can Stephen Aboud have changed that the development pathway in 3 years or 2 years? 3 years.
Not
Oh.
enough. Not enough.
I think that's going to be. Listen, I'm hoping that's not going to be like a 50-point game. I'm hoping Canada can keep it to under 3 scores, like 21 or less. But
A miracle. Huh?
yeah, it's that, isn't it? It's we. You know what? Like genuinely, if we had like Canada back to
Italy.
the level of the '90s where they were like
Ooh,
dominant.
Paul Emerick and those players like that.
Yeah, and also like it makes sense. I speak to a lot of Canadians at work, and they love it. They love it. Like it's like they're like, oh, we're shit. It's probably like most of the Italian fans, right? Like of the past sort of 10, 15 years. Oh, we're shit. So they don't watch it. But actually, if they get a little bit of success, that could blow up in that country. That could be massive. The women's brilliant, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
women.
hopefully they do better, and that's not because I want Scotland to lose or anything. I just want Canada to be competitive.
Makes totally sense. So, Mike, everything is set. We have an Italy Australia under 20 tomorrow, and then Friday early morning with your best. Which one is your best breakfast? If you have to pick a breakfast, which one is it? Let's talk about breakfast before at dinner time, and then we can close this.
Yeah.
Are you a pan and Nutella guy? Like
No.
my daughter. My daughter is pan and Nutella.
Yeah, no, I hate sweet breakfast. I hate them. Yeah, like savory. I love this. Shows that I was born here, but like I love crumpets. I don't know if you have had a crumpet.
I know crumpets really well.
Right. Yeah, so crumpets, they're always good. But if look, we're talking like my favorite breakfast, baguette with like egg
Eggs.
and egg and I'm not a big bacon guy. I don't really like bacon. Don't really like sausages. Yeah, egg. Yeah, happy with that. Egg baguette is is good enough for me, to
A
be honest.
baguette, it's something. I'm old style. Yes. Yes. Esatti.
Neil's noise.
Yes, that's it. For me, it's coffee.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was coffee and cigarettes. Now it's coffee. Just have a nice coffee, and we're good with that. And then let's see when I'm gonna eat something else. But usually I'm on the coffee. But now I'm a little bit more posh, Niels. Now I got my espresso machine. The one where you put
bougie.
Bougie. I need it. And I love it. You know why? Because I usually do, probably in 10 minutes I'm gonna do a decaf because it's better for my health. Because if not, I'm a guy that can go now and drink a pot of Moka and then go to bed. It's okay, nothing happened.
Yeah,
But
no,
without coffee, I feel the difference. When I went to the
Yeah.
dentist, man, 3 days without coffee, that was crazy. But
Getting groggy. I feel the same with Lion's Mane now that I've started taking it.
Coffee and snus, like zine, if not those kind of stuff. Yeah,
that stuff makes you lightheaded, doesn't it?
No. And also, Niels, the pizza man, let's say, Niels. Our friend, of course, we're going to try to go everybody to the Italy-Wales game in the Six Nation. And let's see what's going to be for November, the games that we can try to point out, because Udine is great. I'm not a lot for touring games against the All Blacks. Want to go watch Argentina, Quesada against his past and present and future.
Yeah.
And also the Georgia game, man. I want to go there just to be an hooligan, like they did in Batumi. Like crazy.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, yeah. Innocenti was so mad about the what's it called? The speakers.
Yes. All the time pushing.
Yeah. We should do it. Right, I think we're coming up, aren't we?
That's it for everything. Yes. So Mike, hopefully we're gonna chat in the next days, and maybe we're gonna arrange something for the after game, because then I will be analyzing that night, but we're gonna do something else.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mike, Forza Italia, and see you really soon. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share, and listen us on Spotify and all the platforms, because it helps us growing. Thanks. Today I see 37 people between Twitter and Instagram connected. Sorry, not Instagram, YouTube connected, which is great. And see you next time, Mike. Stammi bene. Ciao.